This session, we are dealing with exactly looking for the count of occurrence of a particular letter within a sentence. For example, we have welcome to Antarctica. So we'll be looking for how many times the W has occurred, or how many times the E has occurred, how many times the L has occurred, how many times C has occurred in the particular sentence. So it has to pass each of the letters and tell the count. So for this case, what happens is that we have taken the input string to be the object input. Then input one, we're initializing where the input is going to trim up the whole sentence. That is removing empty spaces. And after that is done, the input length has been analyzed to greater than 0. So this would mean we are just taking into consideration of the sentence. Now, if is initialized 0 and C is initialized 0, they are two different flags. The flag setup is just meant for taking up the count of the lettering occurrences based on being even or odd. Now, so C will be looking for the counter, and by means of which we look for the occurrence of the number of counts, and F will be acting like a flag. Now here what happens is that we have initialized input I equal to 0, that is checking up for the first occurrence of the letter index value with reference to the string quantity. Now with j equal to 0 and j is less than equal to length dot plus 1, j plus plus, this would mean starting with the first index value of the sentence, that is first letter till the whole of the letter has been sentence has been read. It will looking for the first index with the comparing with the next index sequentially in the progressive order. That means for every first index with the next index being compared for being equivalence. If it is so, it has to look up for the count, and that count will be done by the counter operator C++. And within the counter operator, if it happens to be divisibility with 2, that means it has occurred even number of times. That means it gives a remainder 0. Then it has to check up with the flag 1. It should take the flag 1. Otherwise, if it is for odd number of occurrences for the particular letters, that is repeating in the sentence, it will take up with the flag value 0. The flag 1, if it equated with the if certain, so this would mean that it has occurred odd number of times. And if a flag equal to 1, it has occurred even number of times, as you mentioned here. Divisibility 0 is for even, and divisibility with odd, non-divisibility with 0 is odd. So, and that is for F0. So F0 has to take up for the odd occurrences. F1 has to take up for the even occurrences. And before we go for the next check up for the letter, we are just emptying the string. And this is a mandatory process. And once the whole of the looping is done, you have to give the consolidated line statement. So we have a division part once again, that C++ acts like a counter for checking up for the count of occurrence of each of the letters in the sentence being given or odd occurrences for every letters. And for odd occurrences, it will take not equal to 0. For even occurrences, it will take equal to 0 for the counter C. Now let us go for the start button and go for given section of the page where exactly we are intended to get the output of each of the letters being ordered in the sequence in which they have been represented. So we can see that in the whole sentence, welcome to America, Antarctica, the W has occurred once, E has occurred twice, L has occurred once, C has occurred thrice, O has occurred twice, and it went on like that. So T occurred thrice, A occurred 3 times, N occurred once, R occurred once, I occurred once.